What's good, everybody? It's Kaige-O Gaming, and we're back with some more content. What did you expect? We're back with some settlement survival, and as of right now, we don't really have any events popping up. We do have a set of immigrants coming in about a year and a half. We are expanding our colony, expanding our housing, making sure we have room for everybody. We just got a new set of immigrants. So we have quite a few people homeless right now. So we're trying to get that going. But while doing that, we also need to make sure we are keeping up with our resource production. And honestly, I think it's about time we get a second forester's hut, especially if we're going to be expanding out this way. And we're also going to need to make sure that it's well defended. Where do we want to line this up? Because this is going to go out pretty far. And we don't want it too far away from our houses. Maybe if we do a road along here. I also don't want it within the same territory either as the second one. So I think we're just going to go right there for now. I did not mean to search. We're also going to look into getting a storage yard, strictly for timber and gathering. Alright, they overlap a little bit. I don't think we'll get a second gatherer's hut out here for the time being. So let's just get a small storage yard, and we'll store strictly lumber. Stone is doing fine, so let's go ahead and start getting some roads going. And then we'll also connect a road down to here. Houses are getting built. Our fuel is full. How are we doing on wood planks? We have a decent amount, and there's not really anything else we can put in here. We'll keep the workers there for now, just because we have so many workers and so many laborers. We don't really need to worry about micromanaging that. But we're definitely going to need to make sure that we expand our arrow towers. We do finally have 8 reservists, so if we wanted to, we could go ahead and get a squad formation. But we'll build that up towards our next event. We're not going to build it up right now. The dung collector died. We are full on our graveyard, but we have this one up here. So 20 left in that area. We can go ahead and demolish the cemetery then. We still have one little gravestone over here, but the houses covered the rest of them up. Hopefully those houses are not haunted. That would not be good. That'd be a cool little thing to add into the game though. And then we have 3 research points available. Expanding our housing this way should be pretty decent. In order for the expansion. That way our colonists don't have to go too far to get warm. I think we're doing pretty well with that. I'm just trying to think if we want to reorganize things before we get built up too much. But I kind of feel like things look okay right now. Eventually, I have a feeling we will go ahead and rearrange things with our colony just to make things a little more organized, but I think I'm okay with how things are for the time being. We can go ahead and get a second person in here, because why not? Water seems to be doing fine. Food. Wood is struggling a bit, but that's the reason why we are making another forester's hut. Everything else seems to be doing okay. We have baskets going, iron tools, we have a bunch of medicinal powder, a decent amount of books. Once we get this reed going, we'll probably start thinking about getting paper. We have 272 in stock. Woodcutter died of old age, that's fine. Still have 31 laborers. Our apartment building is full, which is why we're building a second one. We are going to need dung collection. We already have it. Let's put a second person in there. Decent amount of storage over here. You, my friends, strictly... We can do raw food as well. But then timber. Won't do planks or straw, just timber. We have plenty of room in the schools. We could go ahead and build a second builder's cabin. That should be in services. Builder's cabin can go here. We'll get 6 more. Because if not, this stuff's gonna start taking a while to get built. We can go ahead and demolish this one, this tower, because we need to expand. And then the only event is the immigrants so far. So no natural disasters we need to prepare for. A tornado. The first natural disaster we had, that was a little scary. I think we lost 2 or 3 people from it. A little bit scary. Thankfully, it didn't go through the colony. If it would have, I don't know what we would have done. I really don't. We might have been screwed. That would have been absolutely devastating. But as we expand our colony, we'll go ahead and take a quick stroll through the town, see how things are going. We have our orchard going with our coffee seeds, our alpacas and our buffaloes. We have our trading post, which reminds me, is there anything that we want to get a big supply of? Not necessarily quite yet. We are gonna need to start thinking about getting more silver somehow though. So maybe we will end up selling some of our tools. Let's increase this to 500. And clothing. Clothing can go up to 400. And maybe we'll just stick with selling tools and clothes for now. Since those seem pretty easy for us to make. I would like to move this. Frankly, I'd like to just get a whole area with a compost plant and farms surrounding it, so that we can make better usage of the bonus that it gives in the surrounding areas. We have a second forester's hut that we got over here. So really, we don't need that one. I kind of forgot we built this. But since we have the workers for it, it doesn't hurt to have a third one. And honestly, we'll probably end up expanding this area eventually, so we'll end up getting rid of this. Probably won't expand in this area anytime soon, especially with it being towards the edge of the map. But our homelessness problem is going down, which is great news. Fertility rate is at 91%. 20 people in school, 20 students, and we have 23 kiddos. We have a second reed farm, so that should be being gathered. What else do we want to get? We do have to keep an eye on our food now that we have so many people. So maybe thinking about an apiary here soon. We have 200 clay, so let's go ahead and switch this over to sand for a little bit. Just kind of keep these numbers even between the sand and clay, since we only have one building to get both. Cut stone, we're up to 131. I don't think we're going to need more than one formation of spears at this time. At least not until after we go after the bandit camp. Then we'll start thinking about multiple formations of troops. But at least just to defend the colony for now, we should only need one formation. I'm not sure how difficult they're eventually going to get. If we Can we adjust our camera right now? It's a little fuzzy. That should be better. Yes. On the fly. Go ahead and do it. And I guess we just speed things up until some of this stuff gets done. We keep an eye on what we're going to need. We are out of wood, but again, we have 2 forester's huts, so I'm not too worried about it. Not a lot of areas to gather plants because we have been chopping down trees. So I kind of think we just let things play out for a little bit. Maybe we'll get an apiary over by this gatherer's hut. That should be an agriculture apiary. That really just needs clay to build. And we'll put that over here. Alright, our homelessness problem is gone. There's only 17 citizens that want new houses. This apartment freed up 3 people, but this one has 5 in it. Rod has died of old age. And timber is our biggest problem right now. Food is definitely going down quickly. So we might need to start thinking about an alternative option here. Coffee's only sitting at 20. Water seems to be going down a bit too, so let's get a second person in our reservoir. Not really any plants for us to gather. It is warming up, so I guess we can send our colonists out a bit. Away from home. That way they have some things to do. Ida has died of old age. Lila, old age. So it's all people to old age, which is good. What? You're out of timber, so you can't make any tools right now. Medicinal powder's nearly at 2,000, but we're almost out of herbs. I think we're only gonna have 1 person on there for now. Happiness could do better, but health is doing fine. It might be worth building a second church. But even the church's influence gets over in this area. Get a 4th person over here. Apiary, you collect honey. We'll put 3 people in there, and we still have 15 laborers left over. Just kind of waiting for our wood supply to go back up. Let's start thinking about getting refined fuel so we can get steel and glass and brick. I believe refined fuel only uses... can process timber or coal into refined fuel. How are we doing on coal? Where do we see that at? Oh, we have 112 stocked up. We could go ahead and just get more people in here. This is where I kind of want to get into where we're reorganizing things. We have these 2 hunters' huts. How are we doing on textiles? Rather fine. How do we want to organize this? We have a bunch of storage in this area. Sawmills I like over here. Same with the herbalist hut. I kind of want to move our farms further north and move these pastures over. Also, if we keep expanding farms this way, it's going to be in quite a bit of our marketplace radius. Because we're already not building houses down here due to the forester's hut. 15 citizens still want new homes. Let's go ahead and tear down this textile mill. You definitely replace that. We're not growing flax anymore. We don't really need linen at the moment. These buildings can probably go down towards the reed farm. But with the transfer station, like, it's not just a storage. It's getting transferred to this area anyways. Be nice if we could move our quarry. But the mines and quarries we cannot demolish. They are indestructible. Which is interesting, because they can definitely... Like, haven't the bandits attacked our quarry before in our mine? Or am I making that up? Again, we're out of timber. We're just waiting for these two foresters' hut to get going. Because this one alone is nearly producing 500 per year, which is good. It's a good amount. Let's go ahead and speed things up. I like the tea shop being there. Let's go ahead and move these hunters' huts around. At least this one. This one I don't mind because we have all the trees over here in this area. Even though it is more central. I might go ahead and move the hunter's hut up here for now. We are extremely low on food. Extremely low. So let's make sure we're still gathering plants. And we're gonna start having to think about food. The good thing is that this is now gathering honey. That's gonna help out a little bit. The hunter's hut will definitely need to replace because it's not the best at gathering food, but it does help. We will place you more over here, I suppose. It's a decent way from our houses, but it should be fine. Do we want a second gatherer's hut? I'm not quite sure yet. Definitely need to figure something out for food. We can demolish the storage yards. I am tempted to build a second pasture just to move these guys around and then get a farm down. That way it's receiving the bonuses. But that's gonna use up a lot of wood. Pastures take wood to build. We get like a 14x9 here. We will have to move it eventually again. I'd like to have a farm right there instead. Not too close to the houses. I don't think so. Eventually, like I said, we'll move stuff around again. We'll just kind of keep organizing things. Cooper died of old age. But until that point, we'll just kind of like shift everything over, I think. We have a merchant who wants timber. Almost 1,000 timber, but he'd give us 5,500 silver for it. 80 vegetables for 95 silver. Not a deal we're really looking for right now. And then once this gets built, we'll transfer all of these buffaloes over, and then we'll build a farm here. Because we definitely need some help in the food department. Builder died of old age. We still have 14 slots left. This building, let's get 3 hunters in it. I think I'm pretty happy with like this section of the town. It's really this area that I'm not too happy with. Not very content. Could just make all of this area storage since it is rather central. But it's more central in the fact that it's in the center of the colony, not the center of our industry area. Because being so close to the residential area isn't a huge help. It is kind of for food purposes, but that's what the marketplace workers are for. I feel like storage in this area is really good. So maybe we'll even move this Taylor. Especially if we're moving like the pastures over here. Maybe we'll keep like the hunter's cabin and the pastures close together with the Taylor. We want our pools to be done around our mine and quarry. We might even be able to put what is it? Smithy. Could put it right here. But we'd have to move that eventually as well because we're going to want to take advantage of that resource point. Could move the cut stones elsewhere. But I like that being right next to the quarry. So maybe we'll move the Taylor. We want you to have buffalo. We want you to transfer here. We want you to transfer all of them. Put a second person in there. And once these guys start getting transferred, go ahead and destroy that. And then we'll place a farm here to take advantage of this here. We are out of dung. Do we have a third type of animal? Town details, collection. We do not. So really our only option are getting more pastures of the same type of animal, which I'm cool with. Farm. We'll do an 8x10. And then we'll probably get another farm in this area. So I think all of these are 8x10s. That way we're keeping it kind of even. It'd be nice to just expand this if we could. But we'd have to destroy it and then build another one. You, my friend, we can just get some pumpkins. I hope you're not going to sit there and plant crops right now because they're just going to freeze. We have 16 workers left. Food's sitting at 2k, but I think we're going to eat through that rather quickly. We have another farm going for the next year. Probably could do with moving this tea house over eventually. Let's start thinking about a second advanced tailor. And we will put that... Because I'm thinking if we get a flax field eventually. I don't think these places are far enough yet that we need a transfer station. I think we should start thinking about that soon. Let's gather all these plants. Make sure our laborers are staying busy. I just like the tea shop being close to the coffee orchard. Although I wouldn't complain about it too much being like down here. And then maybe once we unlock like tea leaves and stuff, we can put those crops over here. I'm just thinking if we want our tailor close enough to the flax field. So it's already going to be pretty close to these buildings and the hunter's hut, which is basically all of the production of our textiles at the moment. And again, I think we're gonna expand housing. Maybe do another row of houses here and then expand this way. And we're gonna save this area for last. I'm not too worried about that. 4 and 17, I'll actually start building some more houses now. How far is that in your area? Not at all. So let's get 4 more houses done. And then I think we'll build our advanced tailor. I do kind of like that spot. It lines up with this really nice. So we have another access point for all of these workers to get back home rather quickly. So let's go ahead and get a stone road going this way. And then once this gets built, we'll transfer over these workers and destroy this one. I don't know what we're gonna put in this area quite yet, but I just want to free it up in case we want to put more farms. Cause like this little area right here is gonna bother me because we're not gonna be able to fit a farm in there. We'd be able to put a farm in this area. We'll have to figure something out for this little small square here. Which maybe we can just do storage. That could be maybe like a small warehouse. That wouldn't be bad. Alright, houses are getting done. Looks like people are moving out of the apartments, which is good. Timber is finally on the rise, but we are out of food and winter's just starting. That's not good for us at all. That's not good. We need to figure out something for food. It's because we took in a bunch of immigrants, and so our food is going, because we have more colonists, we're going through our food a lot faster. We can go ahead and destroy this building, and maybe even think about moving over the tea shop until we can get some, so we can get some more farms in that area. Let's put the tea shop here instead. Still close to the coffee orchard. But this will free up this space and we'll get another farm in here. We can get a decent amount of tiles. We will have to move all of this stuff though, including our big storage yard that's already been upgraded. But we should have a decent amount of cut stone. I'm not too worried about that. 2 more years until the bandit raid, and we have a wild beast coming sometime soon. So, with that event popping up, looks like our camera's fuzzing out again. But let's get our first squad formation. For this, we'll only set 3 people to be trained right now. And our spearmen are getting recruited. Now, obviously, we don't know where the tame beast is coming from. We do know where the bandits are coming from, but not the tame beast. We got our first unit of spearmen. Exciting stuff. Go ahead and check these guys out real quick. Go in their perspective. And we got our first 8 spearmen. Our spearmen at arms. So we'll just go ahead and post them up in the center of the colony. I don't believe they cost anything while in formation. Maybe setting you by the latrine isn't the most humane thing to do. So let's put you by the farms for now. Now, will you guys eat and stuff? Do we have to worry about you eating? Because you guys don't have the normal properties tab in a formation. You just have combat attributes. So maybe we won't have to worry about that. Tea shop is done. So we'll go ahead and destroy this one. Food. We got 282 honey. That helps a bit. Last year, and I don't even believe that that was a full year. We might deny these immigrants. I don't know if we can really afford them right now. We're already running low on food. We have plenty of laborers. So I think this might be our first set of people that we turn down. I just don't think we're not in need of them, and we don't have the resources to sustain them. Mira died of old age. Doesn't look like anything else has really happened. 10 births occurred last season. And I believe we have 40 slots for students. So we'll have to keep an eye on that in case we need another school. Let's go ahead and speed things back up though. And then we'll also just get some extra arrow towers. I don't think we'll need them as desperately now that we have our spearmen, but just in case. It doesn't hurt, right? Then we'll get some protecting our forester's hut over here as well. Now if they come through this area, we're a bit in trouble. But I believe we're a little safer with having gaps in our defenses because we have our spearmen. So as long as these guys don't start dying from being cold or being hungry, I believe we're okay, and we don't have to disband them unless we're in desperate need of workers. Should be the only time we'd need to disband them. How are we doing on our coal? 170, not bad. 2,000 medicinal powder, we're doing good there. Nobody has died from hunger, knock on wood. Let's keep gathering plants. Winter is almost over. And then our crops will start growing. To get another 8x10, yeah, we would need to get rid of the storage yard and one of these knitting workshops. How are we doing on shoes? Can we afford to move this? We have 219. This should be in processing. Now, I wouldn't mind this being close to the reeds, but because we're getting things transferred anyways, probably just put you I'll just put you there for right now. Probably end up moving those buildings eventually, but for the time being, I'm okay with it. You, my friends, I am sorry. I need to refuse you for right now. I have to do it. It pains me to do so, because we always like building up our colony, but right now it's necessary. It is required of us. It is our duty to look out for our people. Hopefully, by the next set of immigrants that come in, we will be more prepared to bring them in. As of right now, we just can't do it. We can't do it. Let's go ahead and get some more houses, though. In fact, we are already running out of room in this area from the marketplace. That's a bit worrisome. Build 2 more right here. We'll get 6 houses going. 18 citizens want new houses. You are going to be doing shoes. Put 2 people in there, and we will destroy this place. Now for storage, we can get a second warehouse next to this compost plant. So let's do so. Spearman, you can sit in between the 2 warehouses. And then we'll go ahead and destroy this and get in another farm. Because food is going to be a problem for us. Everything else we're doing really well in. We're even building quite a few buildings and keeping up with our timber. So even though I accidentally built 3 of them, I think 3 was the right call. We don't need to be paying you. And it looks like we only paid him for 1 month, so only 50 silver we missed out on. But we are building trainees here, so we've already used 400 silver. So this is the smaller or bigger explosion. We've done the smaller one, and it just stops us from getting injured, but nothing else. Try the bigger explosion. The explosive worked well and mining efficiency had been improved. So do we actually get a bonus from that? And if we do, right here. Increase by 40% and will last a year. Wow. Regen time for trees is extended by 10% and will last 3 years. That's all pretty good. We do have some people going hungry. So any plants we find, gather. We can even afford to extend a bit. 64 degrees, so it's pretty warm. We have 16 laborers. It really shouldn't take that long to gather all that stuff. 14 citizens want new houses. We only have 2 left in that apartment and 11 here. So we freed up some space for housing, which is good. We can definitely house another set of immigrants. Next problem is going to be food as usual. But we'll get this warehouse down. As soon as we do so, we'll go ahead and destroy this storage yard and then get another farm going. I'm hoping that means that all this stuff will get transferred. If we somehow lose all of this, taking items out of inventory, 32%. I'm assuming that means they'll transfer that over to a warehouse first. Can you imagine if we just lost all those materials? That would be devastating. It does bother me that we have to keep messing with our camera here. Don't really know what's going on and why it keeps fuzzing out like that, but it is what it is. We'll keep adjusting it. We need like consistent lighting. I only have my ring light up here. Other than that, I rely on the bedroom light, which is actually behind my green screen, so I don't know how much that helps. Then I have a window with the blinds closed in front of me. I'm gonna have to figure something out with the lighting. Make sure we're getting consistent lighting for our camera, so we don't have to keep adjusting it like that. Alright, nobody is dying of hunger, which is good. We can go ahead and get another farm going. Another 8x10. Which does not line up with this right here. What can you do about it, right? Alright, so we have a beast event in about 9 months. We have a bandit raid in about 6 months after the beast. So we got some events coming up, and we'll get to check out our spearmen, which will be fun. If the beast somehow comes from this area, that's gonna be rather upsetting. So maybe we keep our spearmen more over here in this area. That way, if that is the case, it won't do too much damage. And just to slow things down for a minute, because I'd like to look at trade again. I think we said either Rainia or Carlos. Because we can get the mosque, which gives happiness bonus. Anisette. What do drinks give us again? Drinks give us health. But tools also give us health, so that's not gonna help us. Factions, because Lorenzo's gonna be tools. That's health, that's health. Tequila. What does drink give us? Health. I should have known that. I just looked at Anisette. And bamboo baskets, the carrying weight, health. Everything's health. So I think we're gonna go with Rainia first so we can get that mosque, which is gonna help with our happiness. So Rainia, what can we sell you, my friend? Let's start selling some iron ore. We sell that. That's already half our weight. Gives us 539 gold though. Feathers. We'll go 250. Oh yeah, we're stocking up on Reed nicely. So let's go ahead and sell 300. I lied, 250, and that's gonna be our max weight. Now this caravan has a 2.61% risk of death. The more members we put in it, the less likely we are to lose it. Seeing that we don't have insurance yet, I think we'll be okay if we only have 4 laborers left during this trip. So we'll go ahead and use 10 caravan members, nearly get 2,000 silver by trading 100 iron, 250 feathers, and 250 reed. The 239 days for a round trip time, so they won't even be gone for a year. Let's form that caravan. Get our first caravan going, doing some trading. Got our first troop going, our first caravan going. Decent progress this episode. We started reorganizing things. I can put you on tomatoes for now, even though you're gonna start sowing. Not gonna be of great help, just because I don't think you'll be able to harvest it in time. Then the laborer died of old age. Not too worried. And I think we just kind of let things play out until the beast event. There's not too much more we need to focus on at the moment. We are starting to harvest our pumpkins, which is good. Since we are completely out of food, people are starting to starve. Make sure our 4 laborers left are gathering plants before winter hits. Need all the plants, all the plants. We'll keep an eye here just in case laborers start, or colonists start dying of hunger. But we are starting to get stocked up, so hopefully there's plenty to eat for everybody. Truman died of old age. It wasn't hunger. We're still in the clear. And here goes our caravan. They're setting out with their wagons and their horses. Very cool. So they've already had 12 days of the 239. So as you can see, days go by rather quickly in this game. Alright, nobody's died of hunger. We still have a bunch of hungry people though. We started harvesting our oats and pumpkins. I don't think we're gonna be able to harvest these tomatoes in time. Which it is what it is. How are we doing on compost? We only have 13 fertilizer. Which means it's getting used. That's a good thing. But we're also extremely low on dung. We're having some kiddos graduate. And we keep an eye for the beast event. Let's go ahead and 10 times speed it for a little bit. Zoom in on the colony. We do have some trees over here that are kind of bothering me. That are in the middle of our colony. So let's go ahead and just chop those down. Give us some extra timber. Stockpiling food a bit. You cannot harvest, so I don't think we're going to get anything out of this farm. But we will next season. Elijah died of old age. How's our graveyard looking? We have 7 slots left. Our fuel is doing great. Oh, Kaylee, a child, has died of starvation. Okay, that was our first victim of starvation. Yvette died of old age. Our food is not looking hot after this harvest. We might need to find even more ways of getting food. Apiary's got 276. It's really not the greatest. How are we doing on baskets? We're sitting at 80. So we can increase their work efficiency. Let's do it. We have plenty of reed. We don't have anything to boost the production of these buildings. Reed should still be doing fine, but we don't really have the workers to start working on paper yet. Because once we get paper and ink going, we can start upgrading some of these buildings to allow for more workers in them. What was I just looking at that had that? Like the woodcutter. Or the sawmill. For 50 ink and 50 paper, we can get a 4th employee to work here. So some buildings do have that upgrade available. Tools are full. The administrator term of office has expired. Reappoint. I'm glad that didn't work because that's not what I wanted to do. I want to change it. Choose later, because these are peas, so we can get a new crop. I'm not worried about the extra citizen living in houses. So let's get the new crop. We can have soybeans and a new livestock. When I looked earlier, did it say that we had cattle? I feel like it didn't, but I know we got it from that administrator. That's interesting. What does soybeans give us? Soybeans is actually better than peas. So I think we're gonna go for 2 soybean farms. Because we are in desperate need of food right now. Okay. We also have a potential natural disaster. So this next year is gonna be a little rough for us. Food-wise, we're not doing hot. So let's keep gathering plants. Especially the ones that are gonna be closer to home. And let's fast forward till we're about a month away from this wild beast event. See where it's coming from. I wonder if there's a way to heal these people. They have 400 HP. I wonder if they get injured if we can heal them. And if so, how do we do it? Something we will have to figure out. What is this building? That's another tower. Alright, all 3 trainees are trained up. We're not going to train anymore because we don't have the laborers for it. Once our 10 people come back, we'll be up to 13 laborers again. Our trip is nearly over already. So we'll bring in a nice 2,000 silver. Beast event is getting closer. Sophie died of old age. We only have 4 slots left. For whatever reason, somebody or the wild beast does come from this side. Let's get 2 people in the arrow towers and 10 times speed until this event happens. Probably have to sacrifice 50 silver, but now that we're doing some trading, we have some extra items that we can get rid of. Go ahead and boost this up to 500 so we can start selling clothes as well. And then we'll have our spear formation ready to go once this event hits. 2 bursts occurred last season, and the wild beast event should happen any second. Everything else is looking okay except for food. Even water's doing rather well for us. How's coffee doing? 229, it's looking great. We're out of laborers because we put them in the watchtowers. Duh. Okay, so we're good. Everywhere else, let's slow things down. See where this beast is coming from. Beast is coming from the east. So we can turn off these towers. I don't even think it took out any money. So it didn't cost us anything. And let's just see how our spearmen do up against the beast. It's another tiger. Oh, there's 2 this time. Alright, so let's get 2 people in here. Nope, I lied. 1 person in there, 1 person in here. Move our spearmen over. I'm not exactly sure where exactly they're gonna go. Honestly, it'd be really cool if they fought each other. I'd be down for that. You are going to work, but you're pretty far away. Are you working? You're getting close, so I don't even think they're gonna get there in time. But again, we do have the spearmen ready. Ooh, so we'll see how they do up against the wild beast. I love how we're paying our combatants that aren't working. Whatever. The squad will actively attack nearby enemies. See how they do. See how it goes. Oh, run, lady, run. Get out of there. Quick. Flee. Where's this guy at? Are you even going to work? You are, but you're not gonna get there for a while, let's be honest. Kill the tiger! The tiger isn't attacking back. Oh, we're doing nice damage to it. And we got materials. Are you... Ooh, he one-shots our troops. But we destroyed the beast. We only have 6 spearmen left in here. Spearman Harvey and Spearman Norma. You guys did absolutely wonderful. Your sacrifice will not have been forgotten. We have an animal plague coming up. That might mean that we need separate pastures. If not, all of our animals in the same pasture are going to die. I wish we could see what resources we got from that, because they're picking up the resources. What are you carrying? We got meat chop. We got fat. What are you carrying? Leather. Okay, so we got some food off these guys. I love to see it. That's fat, leather. So I'm assuming just the 3 items, but quite a bit of it. And we saved our forester's hut. And the only 2 people that died were our troops. Which, no offense to them, it's kind of what they're there for. It's their job, to fight and die for our colony. They fight happily. It's not against their will. Let me make that clear. They are proud to defend the civilians of this colony. So, I'd say that went pretty well. Obviously, right there, it seemed a lot more beneficial to let the tiger attack a building first. That way we won't lose troops, so that's something we'll keep in mind for next time. Stop. Messing with the green screen. Look, now you can see the corner. Go ahead and move that over. But my cats, we have 3 of them, like to go on either side of my green screen and then surprise attack each other. They haven't knocked down my green screen before, but they like messing with it and moving it around, so. But yeah, I think that went pretty well for our beast attack. Our colonists or our traders are finally getting back. 1890 to the revenue. We're back up to 3,300 coins, which is awesome. And now we're back up to 12 laborers. So let's go ahead and gather plants. Winter is nearly over. Starting to get warm again. So we'll go ahead and send our people out, especially now that we have more laborers. See if we can find some more food. Cats are going crazy in the background. 25 kiddos in school. We have 57 kids. Sheesh. Colony is growing. Getting our soybeans planted. Animal plague and immigrant event. Okay, so we have back-to-back events. At least they're not back-to-back bad ones. That's always good. We have 5 tech points ready to spend. So let's slow down time, see if we want to build anything. Let's start getting paper going. And then we'll have to make some more planks. This uses water and reed. But yeah, let's finally get some paper going. Paper mill. We kind of want you by the schools. And the research institutes. Not really anywhere to put you. Could put it in this corner here. Close to the housing, it's close enough to storage, it's close to the research. This warehouse is full, but we need bricks to expand it. This one's only at 17%, so I'm not too worried about it. And then, since we're full on domestic fuel, we're about to use 80 of our planks here. Let's go ahead and get some more planks going. We'll max out our limit at 200. As soon as we hit our max, we'll go ahead and swap them back over to the fuel. But now that we're getting coal going, we're not in desperate need of the domestic fuel anymore. Houses should be using the coal, which lasts longer. And doesn't use as much, so it's more efficient. Timber is doing absolutely wonderful. You have tracheitis and you are our cut stone worker. So let's get you out of there. I'm actually... Oh, that worked perfectly. I kind of figured if we put another worker back in here, it'd be the same person, but it was not. So it works out. Alright, now that we got paper going here shortly, we'll go ahead and speed up time again. How did that do on our relations with Renia? It got plus 15, so once we hit 300 is when we'll unlock the first level of reputation and get access to these items. And then so on. So really we want to get her up to reputation 2 so we can get the mosque. Interesting. So not only does it grant happiness bonus, they can predict the disaster, but have the chance to be wrong in their prediction. I wonder if there's a way to increase their chance of predicting it correctly. That's an interesting mechanic. I kind of like that. That's cool. Alright, I see a decent amount of plants that can get harvested. We almost have another gravesite full. We are doing perfectly fine on iron. So we don't need 5 people there anymore. We'll add people to the paper mill. We'll go ahead and max you out at 750. And then research institutes, you start using paper. We can start adding some textbooks. What do we have a lot of? Quality food and sewing techniques. Quality food is for simple food and rough clothes. The hunger of meat from simple food, and we don't get a lot of meat. So are any of these worth using? I mean, we only have simple food right now, and we're still going hungry. Especially around after winter is done, when we're waiting for the next harvest. So it's not a huge deal. I'm just worried because we don't get a lot of meat. We don't. We get about 400 buffalo meat per year. Goose, we get about 169. Venison, 168. Alpaca meat, 328. So we probably get pretty close to 1,000. Maybe we will do that. It is gonna use paper. Paper used for studying, 5 per person. But I think that's kind of worth getting. We are getting close to our bandit event in about 2 months. But seeing as we are approaching our mark, before we forget, because people are gonna start getting unhappy about not having any cemetery space left. Let's get another cemetery over in this area, I think. We really just want it out of the way. I guess just right next to the old one is fine. Get a 9x8. Get that going. We're gonna go ahead and end the episode here. I think we made some really good progress today. We dealt with those 2 beasts very well this time with our spearmen. We still have 6 remaining, plus we have 3 people being trained. I wonder, honestly, if we disband these guys, they should go back to reservists, which means we'll have 9, and then we can get a fresh full stack of 8 rather than the 6 right here. Rather than waiting till we get another 8 and building another formation. That's something we might have to keep in mind for next time, especially as we prepare for these bandits. We'll also get some people on these towers, because we've seen that they can go on either side of this mountain now. We got trade going finally, got troops, trying to catch up on food and help it out, but these soybeans should do some work. Should help us, because they should give a better output than what the peas were giving us. But yeah, I can't complain with how things are going. We are up to 214 colonists. Colonies growing in size. But yeah, as always, I appreciate y'all for stopping by, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, peace out, y'all.